They told you that when the brain breaks, what's lost is lost forever. That is the single most damaging myth in all of medicine. And the peer-reviewed science says it's flat wrong. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what your brain can actually do, why one miracle pill will never fix it, and the one simple first step that changed everything for my patients. My name is Dr. Lewis Clark. I'm a board-certified physical medicine and rehabilitation physician. I'm also a PhD neuroscientist. That gap between what neuroscience already knows and what bedside medicine actually does is the reason I wrote a book called Fixing the Broken Brain. And my whole framework fits in 3 words: chemistry plus therapy equals function. I want to tell you why this book exists, who it's for, and why I think it's different from almost everything else on the shelf. Most doctors are one thing or the other. They're a physician who treats patients, or they're a scientist who runs experiments. I trained as both. I earned a PhD studying brain chemistry. I learned to do delicate surgery on research animals and measure the exact chemicals inside living brain tissue. Then I went to med school and trained in rehabilitation medicine, working with stroke and spinal cord patients. So I've stood at the bedside, I've stood at the lab bench. Think of it like a translator who actually grew up speaking both languages, not someone who learned one from the textbook. That's the whole point of the book. It's a bridge between those 2 rooms. And standing in that gap, I kept running into the same frustrating problem over and over. Doctors are trained to think one disease needs one drug. Strep throat, 1 antibiotic, 10 days done. That works beautifully for strep. But the brain is not strep throat. There's no single pill for a stroke. There's no single pill for dementia. We don't even have one that works in 10 years, let alone 10 days. Think about the most famous example. For almost 20 years, billions of dollars chased one idea about Alzheimer's, a sticky protein called beta amyloid. It turns out the early study that launched that whole race was tainted, and it was finally retracted. A lot of brilliant people bet everything on one instrument in the orchestra. The brain just doesn't work that way. If one drug is the wrong way to picture the brain, let me give you the right way, because this one mental model explains everything. I want you to picture an orchestra, not one star violinist. The whole orchestra. Strings, brass, woodwinds, percussions, every player has to be in their seat, and they have to be in tune and on the same sheet of music. Your brain heals the same way. It needs energy. It needs raw materials to rebuild cell walls. It needs the right chemical signals to wake up its own stem cells. Hand it one instrument, you don't get music. You get noise. So when someone asks me, will one vitamin help? My honest answer is almost always the same. By itself, very little. Alongside the rest of the orchestra, that's where the healing happens. And here's the part that gives families real hope. Because for 100 years, we believed the opposite. For most of the last century, the rule was simple. You were born with all the brain cells you'll ever get, and once they die, they're gone for good. My own mother warned me about it before I left for college. Then, in the 1990s, scientists found stem cells right inside the adult brain. Little cells waiting. Give them the right chemistry, the right soil, and they can grow into new brain cells and wire themselves in. And here's the remarkable part. We can now measure it. There's a brain scan called coherence EEG that shows the connections between brain regions. When healing happens, brand new lines appear on that map. That's not me hoping. That's objective data on the screen. So that brings me to what's actually inside this book and why I think it's different from what else is out there. Here's what you'll walk away with. Number 1. The why, not just the what. Most books tell you to eat this or take that. This one shows you the reason, so you can decide for yourself and spot the hype. 2. How the brain breaks. The step-by-step damage after a stroke or injury, and where we may be able to slow it down. 3. How the brain rebuilds. The chemistry that wakes up your own stem cells to make new brain tissue. 4. Proof you can see. Real patient cases with brain scans showing new connections forming. 5. Plain language, written so a family member can follow it, with doctor science for the clinicians who want it. And over 450 peer-reviewed references sit in the back of the book. I'm not asking you to take my word for anything, I'm showing you my work. which is the whole reason I'm sitting here at all. Whether you're navigating a brain condition yourself, supporting someone who is, or you're a clinician who wants to go deeper, this channel is for you. Here's my promise. I'm going to take the research that most people will never read, the dense, peer-reviewed neuroscience, and translate it. No fear, no hype, no miracle cures, just the real science and what you can actually do with it. Think of me as the guy who already read 450 papers, so you don't have to. I'll bring you what matters, one piece at a time. Chemistry plus therapy equals function. That's the whole journey we're on together. I've spent almost 50 years studying this one organ, and I'm still amazed by it. The body wants to heal, even the brain. It just needs the right help, in the right order. If you want the whole story, the science, the patient cases, the references behind every claim, it's all in Fixing the Broken Brain. The link is in the description. Start there, then come back, because we're going to go through it together one piece at a time. I'm Dr. Lewis Clark. The brain wants to heal. Let's help it do that.